Many of you have most likely seen the video with Mark Rober driving his older Tesla into a wall where it proceeds to crash directly through the wall without stopping at all. Now, a lot of people are bashing him and a lot of people are, well, not so many people are supporting him. I just want to throw out my 2 cents, some things that I haven't heard in other videos. Brian White did a great video on this, and so did AI driver JD. A lot of videos are surfacing, and I can't wait until someone actually replicates this test using a full self-driving Tesla. It is very, very immature and wrong for Mark to put self-driving in the title of his video when really everything was centered around LiDAR. The entire video started with him taking a LiDAR unit on his chest into Disney World where he could go onto Space Mountain. So from that perspective, the video was really geared toward that topic. I don't know why he chose to kind of mix the two. I mean, it makes sense, LiDAR versus vision. Those are the two main approaches when it comes to self-driving cars, but it's really unfair to call that a self-driving car when he just used Autopilot. Now, the points I want to mention here, and there are a lot that you can take away, and I definitely recommend you watching JD's video. I love supporting him because he is a friend of mine and he produces amazing, incredible content. Definitely check out his video up above. I'm going to link it there. The thing that was not mentioned is that Mark Rober has owned a Tesla for a long time, and he claims to love Tesla vehicles.
I love my Tesla. I'll probably get a new one when they come out.
I just find it very hard to believe that Mark Rober, if he is a genuinely curious, scientific individual, that he never tested FSD before. He would know very clearly that you can turn it on anywhere, everywhere without a destination.
My understanding with full self-driving is that you have to enter an address for it to work.
He obviously knows about full self-driving. Tesla has released free trials of FSD. So he has definitely tested it and used it, and he should know very clearly how very different FSD is compared to Autopilot.
And my understanding is that the sensor is not different. Whether it's full self-driving or Autopilot, knowing if that's a wall or not, that doesn't change.
Now, people are speculating that he took over at the last second and he didn't give it enough time and all these other nuances, and he tested it twice and he revealed something. These are all little speculation things. I truly do believe that Mark did not do anything on purpose to harm Tesla. I don't think like it was a biased video, and he even said many times he had no horse in this game or in this video. And what he meant by that is that he is not being paid or promoted to side with LiDAR.
Like, I'm very agnostic. I really just wanted to see what would happen. So truly, I don't have a horse in this race.
However, I find that a little bit hard to believe, and I think that he's not being completely honest. And I think AI Driver nailed it on the head, is that he is unknowingly biasing himself against Tesla. And that's understandable. There's so much stuff going on politically that people are, without even thinking about it, they're formulating certain biases in their head. And that it happens. That's human nature. Unfortunately, that showed through in his video. I really hope that he does follow up to that video, and I guarantee within a week's time, we're going to see somebody else duplicating this test with FSD. Very curious to see if it is the same result or different. My genuine, truthful guess is that it's going to be very, very different, because I know I use full self-driving all the time, and I know that it does see objects. Even if it is painted to look like something else, it does see objects. And in this case, that wall, it had a rectangular shape, and it should have recognized that. Now, had it been a much larger wall, then I think it would have been different. Hard to know, because the size matters, right? If it's a smaller object in the road, a barrier or a human or something like that, vision is much more likely to see that. Now, I want to also point out one other thing. He did the fog and the rain tests, and this is another thing I never saw mentioned in anybody else's videos, except for maybe Brian, Future Ozza, mentioned this, and I'll post his link up above as well. Definitely recommend checking out his video. Those situations are very unrealistic. When do you ever have a car driving those speeds when you can't see ahead of you? It's great that LiDAR can see that, but human drivers, we're not superhuman with our eyes. And the whole point of using a vision approach for full self-driving is that it is human. It mimics what humans do. And humans right now would never drive through an area that they just simply can't see anything through. And I loved the point that AI Driver brought up with the Waymo vehicle getting stuck behind a fountain of water. That is definitely a drawback of LiDAR systems today, is that they will stop when they don't really need to stop in certain situations. But we all have to be honest in that it's just very unrealistic for a car to be driving through areas where you can't see. And I think that in the future, even with automated cars, the expectation shouldn't be to just drive through areas where the human eye can't see. It just doesn't make much sense. Now, originally, I do believe that this has changed over time. Originally, vision was a lot cheaper than LiDAR. And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think LiDAR costs have come down significantly. So it's maybe now more practical, but Elon, and I believe Elon, and people that have bet against Elon in the past have lost. It is unwise to bet against Elon in a lot of situations. I'm not saying that he's always right, but he has mentioned many, many times that he knows LiDAR, he understands the technology, he uses it at SpaceX, but it is not necessary for a self-driving car. Now, the lower cost LiDAR options, probably they don't have the distance. You look at a Waymo vehicle and you look at these other cars, the price of those vehicles is a lot higher. Now, is that because of the actual hardware itself? I would have to do a in-depth analysis to really get into the details. This video, quite honestly, is me just winging it. I don't have a prepared script. I'm just talking about my own perception of what is out there. Like I said, I can't wait until we can definitively prove Mark Rober wrong. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one.